The anime Call of the Night might genuinely be one of the greatest, not just animes, but TV shows that I have ever watched in my entire life, yet nobody's talking about it. So I'm going to try to break that silence and get Call of the Night the fans that it rightfully deserves. I am the DinoGamer556, and this is a video about why Call of the Night is an underrated masterpiece. So essentially, Call of the Night is what Twilight thought it was. It is a story about a human and a vampire falling in love, but a little more complicated than that. We follow this 14-year-old middle school student named Ko Yamari as he attempts to basically run away. He runs away from home into the night because the night makes him feel free, you know? No one's watching. He can basically do whatever he wants. And the vibes are like on point. Speaking of which, the vibes in this anime are just on a whole other level. The night city looks genuinely gorgeous. And honestly, it makes the night look so much more magical than it actually is. Man, and the anime's music. Both openings are incredibly amazing, as well as both credit sequences being incredibly amazing. Creepy Nuts does not stop cooking on every single intro they have. So, anyway, when Ko is adventuring out in the night, he runs into a girl named Nazuma Nanakusa, and she is later revealed to be a vampire. Now, Ko actually wants to become a vampire because he doesn't have to worry about going to school and all sorts of other stuff. He can be free in the night, just like how he wants, so he can enjoy it to its fullest. But there's a problem. In order for you to get turned into a vampire, you have to fall in love with one. So if Ko wants to become a vampire, he essentially has to fall in love with Nazuna, which is difficult because he doesn't know what love is. He has never felt love before, and he doesn't even know if he's capable of doing it. Yet, despite that, he's still going to try. So, the first season is largely about him and Nazuna getting closer, with the goal of him obviously falling in love with her. We also learn about other characters, other vampires, but the real standout is Season 2. Despite the fact that no one is talking about Season 2, not only does Season 2 have one of the greatest villains ever, but also just goes so much into more depth and is so much better than Season 1 was. And that's what I'm mainly going to be talking about today. So, Season 2 is a lot better than Season 1. We instantly, keep where we left off, and we learn more about other characters. Specifically, we learn more about Nazuna and her past, as well as a different character that we saw at the end of Season 1. Anka Iguisu. Now, she is this mysterious detective who really loves aura farming, and I already enjoyed her character a lot in Season 1, but man, in Season 2, does she get 100 times better. Now, there's a lot of spoilers up ahead, so get ready. So, number one, she's incredibly fun to watch because despite the fact that she acts very serious at times, she also is a little crazy, and the way she'll just, stand there, just, smoking her cigarette, it's low-key aura, she has straight aura. And the fight at the beginning of episode 3 is amazing as per usual. The animation in this show is also amazing. Seriously, the animation in this anime is beautiful. So anyway, we see her attack the vampires because she is a vampire hunter. Now, why is she a vampire hunter? And that's where her past really comes in. We find out that Anka Iguisu is an alias, a fake name. In reality, she's a girl named Kyoko Meijiro, who went missing 10 years prior to the events of this season. We find out that she was actually friends with Nazuna, and that the two actually, hung out a lot, and they were friends. Now, Anka had a, honestly, pretty bad family dynamic. Her mother and father were always yelling. Her father was never around, and he was being suspected of cheating on her mother. But they figure things out, and Anka and Nazuna decide they're going to go investigate because Anka, or Kyoko, really likes detective stories. In fact, she calls Nazuna Watson, and Nazuna calls her Holmes at times. So they go to investigate. They don't find anything. And then the next day, on Koyoko's birthday, her father finally decides that he's going to step in and the family dynamic gets solved. So you'd think she finally has her family back and now she can finally be happy. But it turns out the woman that Anka's father was cheating on her mother with was a vampire and turned him into one. And as a vampire, he was confused and he accidentally drank the blood of his wife and Anka's mother, killing her right in front of his own daughter. He then went to kill Koyoko, but out of self-defense, she then killed him. Now, her entire family was broken and destroyed again. What could she do? Well, I'll tell you what she did. She spent the next, and I mean next decade of her life in an endless downward spiral, a horrible depression, with the only thing actually keeping her going in life was her hatred for vampires, as she vowed to hunt every last one of them down and kill them. There would be times where she'd think about ending her own life, and we actually see her attempt to do that multiple times. She is falling apart, and by the time we see her, she has completely fallen apart. She has isolated herself from everybody. She has just spent decades of her life to one simple goal, dedicating those 10 years into finding out all she can about vampires, doing experiments on one she captured, and torturing it so she can figure out their weaknesses and find them. If she can figure out a vampire's weakness, she can kill a vampire. Now, a vampire's weakness is an item from their past that holds a lot of meaning to them. If she finds it, she can kill them. That's really the only way you can kill a vampire. Either that, or a vampire doesn't get blood in 10 years, they will starve and die. So she's presented with two options. Now, by the time we see her, she's not the best fighter, but she can dodge. She has a very serious side, but is also silly. Now, let's talk about her Grandmaster plan. A Grandmaster plan is essentially a drawn-out suicide attempt. In the end, she knows this. She cannot win. So she goes for the nuclear option for her plan, essentially playing mind games. She shoots at the vampires, stabs at the vampires using non-lethal weapons to rile them up, with the goal that the vampires will go after her and try to kill her. If the vampires do kill her, she wants to make sure it's on camera and that it's caught, as you can't bring in a dead vampire body because vampires, when they die, turn to ashes. Her goal is to get killed by a vampire in either a public space or by security cameras to prove the existence of vampires, with her death being as proof. And essentially what she thinks would happen was people with the fear of vampires and attacking at night, people would no longer go out at night for the next 10 years, and all vampires would slowly and gradually die out. Now, this is very foolish, as she herself even believes her plan is never going to work. And eventually, after trying to kill herself and failing when Ko saved her, she eventually turned over a new leaf and got a redemption arc. Now, Koyoko is obviously, in my opinion, the best character in this show. She's incredibly well written, and my explanation did not do her justice at all. By the time we see her in episode 10, she is completely broken and destroyed and just a mental husk and shell of herself who thinks her death is the only thing that can rid the world of vampires, which her goal was the only thing that was keeping her going. And that is part of the reason why this show is so great. Now, my explanation did not do her justice at all, and I highly recommend you watch this show. Not only do I think it needs new fans and more fans, I want more people talking about this anime, because does it deserve so much. Call of the Night is an underrated masterpiece, and although I couldn't include as much as I would have hoped within this little review, I hope that this gives you the push to watch this incredible anime. And even though I have largely spoiled one of the most important arcs within the show, I still hope you can go in and watch it. Obviously, the vibes are at a peak, the music is great, the comedy is all right, but honestly, I wasn't even watching this show to laugh. I was watching this show to get a feel for the awesome characters and the awesome world of Call of the Night. I am the Dino Gamer 556, and I highly recommend this anime.